Welcome to today's collective reading. We're going to open here with some sound vibration to that of the third eye and the kyanite and selenite here to align the energies and elevate them, that only the messages of the highest and greatest good for the collective may come through. Please take what resonates and leave what does not. There may be a synchronicity here within that doesn't quite fit yet, but you may find it matching something coming through later. It may be a preemptive synchronicity. Okay, let's get a couple oracles here. Interesting, they want more than one. So what is the theme here for today's message for the collective? And this would be why they want more than one. Distorted perceptions. Reality is rarely what we are raised to believe it is. Oh, it's so multi-layered and beautiful with her green hair. All those feathers. She seems to kind of have a really kind of look on her face there. And then we have serendipity. So 7 and 30, but number-wise itself, it breaks to a 10. Serendipity, it's an invitation to move with the flow. This is challenging your perceptions, the contracts or the agreements that you have with how things are. Redefining your own perception of things in your reality. Letting go of others' voices. What they've told you is truth versus what is true for you. As you move through this process, what is coming through for moving with the flow would be to consistently choose to focus on the lighter aspects of this flow and not the dark. And what really stands out for me here is if you look at her finger there, it's almost like her hand is see-through. She can see her other finger more through her pointer finger. She can see the fingers beneath it. Interesting. To see through yourself. So what's on the mind space here is ritual. Connection with the elements, with the mysticism, with the magic. The routines of our own nature. We are mammals. So we have circadian rhythms, and as the planet and the moon goes through its cycles and the sun goes through its cycles, it affects us as mammals, as animals. To work with those through ritual, and this is what's in the thought, is creating that foundation for self, creating that structure for yourself. Almost a parenting of yourself, nurturing, mothering, fathering yourself. In the emotion, you're the wing leader. You have a raven, you have a unicorn, and you have an angel here. This with the 40 is foundational. This 37 wing leader is 10 completion, which emotion, this is really where the change is desired to happen, but the foundation for which it to do so through is through this focusing on having these routines. In the physical, it's owning that sovereignty, allowing you to choose to surrender to this flow. But the flow is really the divine. It's the divine within you. It's the divine to your own personal relationship with that aspect of self, trusting it to nurture you, to guide you, to ground into your reality, your sovereignty over your own manifestation. It's grounding your manifestation into reality. Consciously doing so. That's awesome, guys. Consciously grounding in what you will into being. 29 brings to 11. This is mirrored, which yet again breaks to a 2, which is co-creation. And then what you're manifesting is this reciprocation, this soul tribe, this community, this connection to playfulness, the joy of life, celebrating life. Let's look a little deeper here for guidance, synchronicities, a little more of a conversation here about this desire for ritual and routine in the physical, this disciple of ritual. Okay, so we have the marriage line. Oh boy. Okay, and that's a king. Okay, it's not a king, it's a Knight of Swords. So this is rapid movement forward through personal will towards a desired truth. King may imply that the King of Swords may be acting as though they're a knight, but really they're a king. So there's a mastery of this. And marriage is like union, balance within yourself. So you may have already achieved this once before in your life, and you're going back to it. I'm not necessarily looking at it as a relationship aspect, but it may become that further in the reading, and I'll reference back to that if that continues to be a consistency. However, here it's specifically highlighting that you've already achieved this balance once. You already know what to do. You're aware of how certain habits you have kind of sabotage you, and you're aware of how to work with them. The Six of Swords. You know how to move to calmer waters. You already got this. You've already done this. You know how to do this. The only question is, are you going to want to do things a little bit different because this is a new time that you're doing this? Okay, so the emotion space, wing leader, you are balanced in the concept of, so this angel is more of like a gray, the unicorn is white, and the raven is definitely black. So this is a balance of the energies. You walk the twofold path. You walk both. You don't just walk one. You're not pure white, which has a toxic side to it. You're not, fully, in the dark, which also has a toxic side to it. And how I'm using that is the dark aspect is like worshiping the power of possession, of objects, of money, and that in order to have love, you must have money. That kind of a approach to things that has a toxic aspect. Everyone is worthy and completely lovable, regardless of how much money they have. And you, walking both paths, know that. The light side speaks to, I am so incredibly spiritual that you begin to find these individuals kind of looking down their nose, like you're beneath me. But they start out with like just really building you up, but then they start to tear you down. You walk the middle path. You work with both energies. So you're actually balanced. You're able to not move into the toxin of either side by choice. You're able to observe it and shift. Okay, so here we have the Eight of Cups. So you're single right now. You're single right now. Okay, that's all I get from that. It's like you're single. Okay. So what do you want us to know about this being single? Six of Wands. You're single, but nobody expected you to come back. Nobody expected you to be able to actually master this emotionally. And yet again, like, you have been challenging your perceptions throughout this whole thing, especially right here. And you challenge others because you are successful at this, in this position. With the Six of Wands, it kind of was highlighted at the beginning of the last reading I did with the Ace of Cups. If you watch like the first 5-10 minutes, actually first 5, you'll know what I'm talking about. The Nine of Cups. There is a lot of potential here for you to have a 10 of Cups. You are the Nine of Cups. Because you walk that middle path because you challenge perceptions and you go with the flow and you choose to see through yourself to the truth, to the light, to see the dark within yourself and choose to transform it, to challenge others' perceptions and judgments and truths that they expect you to just own because they and everybody around them have that truth, so why don't you? Like that kind of a thing. You challenge that. You're a bit of a rebel. And you've been able to walk this middle path. You're not down and out. Nobody really necessarily expected you to overcome this, but you did. And because of that, they want to learn from you. And you're single and you're in the Nine of Cups. You're very attractive right now. Oh boy, very intimidating also. So in the physical, we have the Four of Wands here, and this is really, as spoken earlier, you are owning your energy, your sovereignty over your own ability to speak into manifestation in your life. How you choose to focus, how you choose to speak on how you feel. Give your focus. You're grounding that fully into the physical here. You have a solid foundation. You know how to endure hardships and not alienate everybody around you, but still provide that sense of peace in the midst of the chaos, to still love those around you, even with chaos. Even with all this energy flowing around you, be it more light and celebratory or kind of dark and gloomy, you still anchor and choose to pull in the light and transmute to light. Eight of Pentacles. You're paying attention to a lot of detail. You may be quiet at this time. You may be pulling into yourself, not being loud and boisterous and expressing, projecting this sovereignty over your life. You may be exercising kind of a protective aspect over this. This is between you and the divine. It's not between you and everybody else. It's between you and divine. You're very receptive in this feminine form. The Six of Cups. Emotionally, you have cultivated an ability to adapt more because you have been surrounded by this, and it's not swept you away, but you have found a way to balance. You kind of, like, I'm getting you kind of, you had to be single going through this, or you may have relied upon them to do this for you, to partner with you to achieve it versus you achieving it on your own. And because you did do so, you are in this Nine of Cup energy, and you're in this state of surrender, allowing yourself to kind of pay attention to those details, but be in a receptive state to adapt as the weather changes. Right now it's cloudy. It may become stormy. There's beauty to be had in an approaching thunderstorm. There is peace to be found in the rain. Or the mist. Like, I have this image of the Moors. Movie Robin Hood with Kevin Costner. Some of the images they have of the mist and the fog and just like the mysticism of it, the almost otherworldly feel, and the concept of, well, do you really know what's in that fog? No. No. It invites you to play, to create, to be silly, to allow the divine then to surprise you with what comes out of the mist. So you're aware you're co-creating. You're not controlling, you're co-creating. Good luck controlling the divine. Come on. All right, so what we have here, that shouldn't be inverted, but it came out that way. I think it was from an earlier reading. I didn't put it back up right. Interesting. I normally do that. So this is what you're actually pulling into manifestation, which is this Three of Pentacles. You want to be able to see the divine in all things, in all people, in all places, in all dynamics, to be connected to all that is, to see that in action. The concept of we're all one, but we are all unique in our own awareness. We're a part of it, but we are aware of our uniqueness. That kind of a thing. The lotus, and you're the individual petal. This group that you would possibly be moving into connection with, this soul tribe, if you will, they may be aware of this. Even if they don't speak to it, they may be aware of this, which allows you to not feel so other. You may be learning from one another. This may be it may be one other individual with this Two of Pentacles. One other individual, to have one other person in your lifetime, that understands you, that you could be yourself with. Be they a best friend, a relative, or a partner. And oftentimes, a relative and a partner would also be a best friend. That is an abundance that many never get to experience. Partially because they may not think it's possible to experience it. And that's why this manifestation can be incredibly powerful. It's partly why we're here, and we're here because living that, and it not being in a movie or a book or a fairy tale, it can really inspire a lot of individuals on a higher self soul level to seek or want or manifest that. Very powerful. Ooh. Okay, that wanted to come out too. All right, so we have the Queen of Wands, and you have this Queen of Wands coming out here too. This is very desirable. You've been manifesting this through a state of receptivity, or they are in a state of receptivity. They have been manifesting you. The Two of Wands. This is a path that you have chosen, and it's co-created, so you have another energy mirroring this. They have chosen this path as well. All right. I'm not really feeling like there's anything that needs to be gone too much more deeply into, so what do we have coming through the Moonology cards here? Ooh, okay. Full moon in Libra. Find a balance. Stay on the path. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. This comes back to that ritual. As long as you continue to try and you continue to choose to balance those scales, you're not leaving the path. As long as you continue to seek that truth, seek that balance, and actively give to it, as well as be receptive to receiving guidance. New moon in Taurus, know your worth. Part of being on this path is not accepting just any flower on the side. If you're to be tempted to go to the edge of the path, are you worth a trod upon daisy? Are you worth a shiny stone? Are you worth, like, what are you telling yourself you're worthy of on this path? That's where it's going. What are you telling yourself is on your path that you're worthy of? It's not about like the quality of the flower or the crystal. It's about the love, the enjoyment, the fun, the playfulness, the experiencing of that moment, of that now. A simple, beautiful agate could be worth nothing in money, but it's got such worth to you in beauty, in appreciation of connection to Source. There's a reason why you have been brought to this path and why you have encountered this agate, for example. That you're worthy of receiving gifts from the divine. That you're worthy of that. You are enough. You are enough. And the moment you fully understand, embrace, and acknowledge and find joy in accepting this truth, that you are worthy of receiving love from divine. And that can be in just finding like for one moment, that beautiful agate, that is a gift of love from divine. Your mind, your eye was brought to it for a reason. You will encounter more and more of these gifts of love along your path from the divine as you open to the concept that not only are you worthy of them, but that the divine is giving these gifts to you, these confirmations, that the gifts can become more and more and more beautiful and elaborate and enriching and almost magical. Willingness to keep your heart open, even if sometimes on this path you find it's tempted to break from experiencing others' suffering, experiencing the pain of your own experience mirrored back to you and others. If you find yourself triggered on this path, it's because you're needing to be triggered to go into that wound, to heal it, so that the next gift that the divine is preparing you for, you can receive with an open heart, that you are ready to receive it. And I just got a confirmation with a high-pitched tone in my right ear, if that has a significance for some in the collective. That may have like a meaning for you in particular. And that will be today's reading for the collective. The divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.